Now, hidden for nearly 2,000 years, an ancient gospel emerges from the sands of Egypt. It's one of the greatest prizes of biblical archaeology, one that could challenge our deepest beliefs. Condemned as heresy some 1,800 years ago, a document some might wish had remained buried forever.
It could be explosive for a lot of people. It could create a kind of crisis of, let's say, crisis of faith.
Around 180 AD, Bishop Irenaeus, one of the early church's most influential leaders, wrote a scathing attack against one book in circulation. Its title, The Gospel of Judas.
This gospel was about the relationship of Jesus and Judas and indicated that Judas didn't actually betray Jesus, but did what Jesus wanted him to do, because Judas was the one who really knew the truth as Jesus wanted it communicated.
By branding it heresy, they effectively erased it from history, never to be seen again. Or did they?
He had an extremely emotional voice. And he said, Frida, it's fantastic. This is very important documents. I think I was chosen by Judas. I think the circumstances of this manuscript coming to me were predestinated. Judas was asking me to do something for him.
I've looked at hundreds of papyri, Coptic papyri, in my career, and this is absolutely typical of ancient Coptic manuscripts. The number of people who could create such a text is very small. How many would you say? Perhaps 25?
Oh, not so much.
Not so many, yeah?
I would say 4 or 5.
4 or 5. We're 2 of them. Someone would have to know Coptic better than we do, right? And there isn't anybody that knows Coptic better than we do, I'm sorry.
Now, we read it for the first time. It is the Gospel of Judas.
Unbelievable. How could someone write a gospel according to Judas?
He was one of the 12 apostles.
Somebody who was greedy, avaricious, who was more interested in making money than being faithful to his master.
A thief who steals from the money box. Indeed, even as a person who was influenced by Satan.
One of the most hated men in history.
Who handed over his friend, brought about the crucifixion, damned for all time.
For centuries, his name has meant treachery and deceit.
The word itself is despised, I think, virtually throughout the Western world. You wouldn't even call your dog that. And Germany, of course, it is illegal to name your child Judas.
Judas Iscariot. Here, the villain becomes a hero.
I don't think Judas contains authentic historical Jesus and Judas tradition.
This text matches the document Irenaeus railed against some 1,800 years ago. The proof is in one of its most chilling lines, where Jesus gives Judas his mission of betrayal.
التيوي رف من كلهم يهودا التيتباخ هدين بقرا دا أناش دمك سايلي.
Why would early Christians write a Gospel of Judas in the first place? The idea of sainthood for Judas may strike many as outrageous, but an almost saintly portrait emerges in the Gospel of Judas, a portrait that was lost for 1,700 years, but now, finally, can be unveiled. And now, for the first time in almost 2,000 years, the Gospel of Judas can be read.